Hey everybody, this is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report. Today I just want to talk a little bit about the public safety referendum. Okay, on November 8th you need to decide. Basically, if you want to pay 16, let's say I think 16 million in a 30-year bond to go out, purchase property at some undisclosed place, I don't know who owns it, they're not being too transparent with it, and build a new police station, a new high-tech police station. All right, that's what is before us. Couple issues. Before they had a special meeting a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if it was due to my communications, my articles, and a lot of stuff I was putting out. I like to think so, but hey, who knows? Basically, they went out and they said, look, at the special meeting, they a couple things. They found out that Northport built their police department for something like $8 million. So they're all sitting there saying, why are we putting it out for 16 million if they did theirs for 8 million? Can't we do it for less? Why are we forecasting so high? Which started me thinking, well, they aren't too, something's wrong with these numbers. They didn't look at them as hard as they should have. So they said, yeah, but you know what? Any leftover money we could take towards public works where we need a new department. You're going to see where that's going to come into the big picture in a second. But in my mind, I'm thinking, no, I'm a taxpayer. You're putting this out on referendum. It says it's only for a police station. That's what the money should be used for. The money, if it's 16 million, should be accurate. You should give me accurate numbers. And based upon this special meeting, it essentially came out like those were not accurate numbers. That's the first issue. The other thing I was pushing for is I kept asking everybody, where's the cost to expand and renovate the existing department, the building? I don't see them anywhere. Well, it came out at the special meeting that they hired a consultant to come up with these numbers originally. And the guy forgot or did not include the expansion renovation of the old department. They knew that wasn't in there. Some of them knew the numbers weren't accurate, and they still pushed this referendum out there. I shouldn't say they. Some people actually at this special meeting said, look, if I would have known that there was a cheaper way to do this by expanding and renovating the existing department, I may not have voted for this referendum. How come we didn't have this information? And a lot of people were upset about it. So basically, the council said, look, we got to get in hard numbers. Let us know what this would cost. One thing I know Councilman Fred Fraze did that I liked is he said, look, this referendum's in trouble. He didn't say this, but we weren't upfront about the actual numbers, and we weren't upfront with all the information. We didn't do our due diligence. So what if it fails like they're all saying it's going to? Shouldn't we have a backup plan to take care of the police department? Well, that fell on deaf ears. Nobody wanted to hear anything about it. He didn't get anywhere with it, which is a shame. All right, so they come back. They said, let's do the special meeting, and let's go ahead and get some fine, accurate numbers, okay? And let's do what Councilman Bob Daniels says, let's do apples to apples. So they come back and they said, here's the cost comparison. That's where Earl from the Herald, he wrote an excellent article, came out today. They said, okay, to renovate and expand the current police department, then to take public works and buy new land for $2 million, seems a little expensive, and build them a new building, it's going to cost us $13.5 million. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of money. They're saying, so there isn't much difference between this at $13.5 million and building a new one at $16 million. But here's the problem, folks. There is a huge difference still, okay? Here's the issue. When you move public works into this new building and this new land, you got their property. Now, if they bought property for $2 million, I'm assuming we can sell this prime seaboard property for $2 million. So is it really $13.5 million or is it $11.5 million? Because I don't see where they factored in at all, unless Earl missed it. But Earl's pretty good. I don't see where it's factored in here. And I did ask him, and he didn't say anything. He said he didn't say if it was in the numbers. I don't think he was too sure on it. Now, like I said, Bob Daniels said, let's compare to apples. But this isn't even that. This $13.5 million that they wrote about today is to refurbish, expand the police department, build the new public works, and on new land. That $16 million referendum that we have to decide on November 8th is just the police department. That's what the language says. This is just the police department. Even though it's not accurate, I mean, they came out to special meeting. Northport, they built their police department for something like $8 million. And so why did we need a 16 million? And then I think it was the mayor said, no big deal. We'll just use that extra money towards public works. Well, it is a big deal. You got to let me know. I'm the voter. I'm paying for this. I'm the one that's going to let you know if we want it or not. So I want some transparency. You should have given me a referendum that had accurate numbers. How is it ours is 16 million, but Northport just built it a couple years ago for 8 million? That's the first thing. Second thing is it's not apples to apples. This is just the police department, according to the language. So now we have to factor in public works to go out there, buy property, build a new one, or actually, no, if we build a new police department, we'll move public works into the old police station. So we got to look at the cost to renovate, the cost to maybe do some expansion, because I heard they want to move a few departments in there. And then the money we'll get back off to sell the property. Think about it. So if you really compare it apples to apples and you're just throwing numbers out there, which I'll do because you guys seem to be doing it at the council, it's more like going with a referendum and plugging in public works will cost us like, I don't know, 18, $19 million after we sell the seaboard. If we go with expansion and renovation of the police department, buy new property for public works, building a new building, selling that property, it'll cost us $11.5 million. It's still a better deal. So the issues I have with this and the issues I want to bring to everybody's attention are, A, that they didn't do their due diligence before putting that referendum out. They didn't look at all the numbers. They didn't give us accurate numbers, it seems like. It appears if you're watching the meetings, and I'll share the links. I have no problem. You can find a special meeting link right on their page. They should be disclosing all this information out to us. There shouldn't be a big secret. And I'm starting to wonder if the road referendum for the, 18 million? If those numbers are cooked. How accurate are they? If these numbers, if they did such a hatchet job on these numbers, how accurate are the road referendum numbers? And should we be approving that? That's what's going through my head right now. I don't know what's going through yours. So what I encourage you guys, get out there. Listen to the special meeting. You'll see they were all sitting there like basically admitting that there was a huge snafu and oh boy, how are we going to fix this? We look like a bunch of idiots because we screwed up. It was almost comical. It was about, I don't know, 4 weeks ago at a special meeting. You'll find on their site. I'll try to share the link. Then read this excellent article by Earl on how much it'll cost to do the expansion and everything. And you decide. My biggest issue again is the transparency and not giving us accurate data, and how accurate is it now, because it still seems a little bit off. All right, this has been Frankie, and get out there. Remember, on November 8th, you guys have a decision you have to make. Which direction do you want the city to continue going in, or do you want a new direction? Everybody have a good